Welcome to Underrated Underthinkers. I'm your host, Joe.
And I'm your other host, Matt, the best one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Today we kind of got a variety of topics, kind of bring it up since last week.
Mhm.
Um, what are some of the major things? We played some Magic. We watched the new Lord of the Rings, the War of, is it Rohirrim?
Roheim.
Rohim? Is it
Roheim.
Rohim?
That is
Rohi. It's
it's
Rohirrim.
it's Roheim. Just
Okay,
trust me.
that's what I thought. The thing is I've watched a couple videos and everyone's pronouncing it differently, so now I'm all
They say
screwed up.
they
They
say
say
Roheim in the
Roheim.
movie.
That's what I thought too. I'm like, I thought it was Roheim. Why does the spelling look off? I never paid attention to it. So we watched that. Uh, Started a new anime. Um, Anything
Game
else?
Awards. Game Awards were
Game
last week, and a bunch
Awards,
of games were announced.
correct. Um, let's see. What do we want to start with? Do we want to start with the movie first?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so the Lord of the Rings, the War of Rohirrim.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, it came out last Friday, so what would that have been? The 13th, Friday the 13th. Ooh. Uh, and it, it's an animated movie. I guess we should start by saying that. So this is based. I want to say it's based after TV. Have you watched the TV show?
It's based 200 years before the events of The Hobbit.
So it would be, yeah, I think that's before or after the TV show. So basically, this is just the backstory of what they call the last. Is it Shield Maidens? I believe.
Yeah.
So, there's the king of Rohirrim, and he has two sons and a daughter. The main character is the daughter or the princess. Her name is, oh shit, should have had that one pulled up.
I don't know her name.
I totally forget.
King's name's Hammerhand.
Hera. How the
Hera.
fuck? How could I forget that one? Hera. And the king's name's Helm. Don't know if they tell you about the brothers.
They do. They say him in the movie.
They do, but I don't. I'm failing to find it easily.
One is Hammer,
One is Hammer,
and
right?
the other one's Helm.
Helm's the dad. I thought
Oh, I thought one of the kids' name was Helm too.
no, because for yeah, fair warning, spoilers. There's gonna be spoilers. His son Wolf. Oh no no,
No, his son
that's
is not
that
Wolf.
Wolf. Sorry, I was reading ahead trying to find. Um, so basically, this is all a feud between one of the nobles of the uh Rohirrim Kingdom. Uh, his name was Dunled Dunletting Lord. Oh, he's a Dunletting Lord. Freka, right?
Yeah, Freka.
Freka, and he's trying to he's a dicky character, and he's trying to pull strings and stuff to get the throne. Um, and the way he's going to do that is by offering his son Wolf to marry the princess. A little bit about the princess. She's basically a wild child, or what would you say, tomboy, free is how they put
But
it.
and she was already made an offer by the kingdom of Gondor to be wed.
Yes. And for those who don't know, Gondor's a bigger kingdom, a lot more prosperous.
It's like the
Um,
main
it's
area
yeah, it's the main like hub. Um, and the thing is, Wolf was her childhood friend,
and loves
so
her.
and he legitimately loved her, and I just don't think she wanted to settle down because it didn't even sound like she wanted to go to
Mm-mm.
Gondor.
No.
So, um, anywho, the king gets in a spat because he first off he wants her to go to Gondor, but he also does not like Freka, so he's trying to avoid all that. And they get into it, and then the king Helm, he decides to challenge them to a fight. They were gonna do it inside, but they decided to go outside. And Freka kind of lands a few hits on him, and it looks like he's messing him up. And then Helm just punches him once and kills the dude. You'll find out later on the dude is a total badass.
Yeah.
Like, he's a hero. Anywho, um, so after he dies, Wolf, of course, his dad's dead and he loses his shit and he tries to kill the king, but obviously the king's badass, so he just slaps him away. Or he was gonna kill him. He was choking him, but I don't know if it was his daughter or really everyone trying to get him to stop, so he did. And then he banishes Wolf and the whole like noble house. So their general and all that stuff. And so basically they all leave and they didn't really give an exact time. They said seasons had passed. So
Yeah.
it seemed like a couple years. Cuz what happens is um there's been some like reportings and stuff and what's her name? Hera, the princess, likes to go out and have fun. So she goes riding out and she comes across a oh a
Mastodon.
mastodon, basically a giant elephant. Um Anywho, it's like rotting and stuff. So but she's out with her is it handmaiden? Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
And then her cousin and then her personal knight, which is just a chubby little dude, the funny character. Um,
Mhm.
Anyhow, yeah, because the funny little character is the one who finds the giant elephant dude because you hear him screaming from over the hill and comes running, and there's this giant ass monster just hunting him down. Um, Anyhow, the cousin tries to fight it a little bit, didn't really work out, so really, it started off because they found a dead body too, which is one of the tamers. And there's a horn on him. Hera grabs the horn, blows the horn, attracts the monster to her. And then she takes it into the woods where another monster lives. And that monster is I don't know what the name of that one is.
I
That
don't know
would
either.
be, I don't know, some like vine water monster. Basically, it swallowed the giant ass elephant whole. Then after that, she's kind of like getting her shit back together. And then she sees the general, I guess we'll call him. I don't know what his name is. What the one that worked for the Lord Freka. Um, and he's talking to her, and then he pushes her. Or no. Someone comes up behind her, puts a bag over her head, and they kind of lift her up and take her away. Um, and they take her back to it's the hill tribes, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, they used the tower as their base, right? The old tower?
Yeah, but it was the hill tribes.
Yeah, it was the hill tribes, so I can't what's the name? Um,
It was Isengard.
is it Isengard?
Yeah, they took control of
Okay,
Isengard.
yeah, they took control of Isengard. Anyhow, she awakes in a room. She exits, she sees like a scroll on the table, like a letter, with is that called a sigil? Is that the term for it? What did they stamp the stuff with? The wax.
It's like a sigil, yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, then Wolf walks in, and turns out he kind of put this all together. He gathered all the hill tribes to launch a siege on uh Rohan.
Rohirrim.
Um Rohan, I think's the name of the
Oh, maybe.
maybe. I'm seeing in here. I'm looking at a wiki and it's spelled Rohan.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's the name of the town or like the capital ish. Yeah, I think so. Anyhow, um, the her cousin, the handmaiden, all them, They help her escape. Well, I'm not gonna explain how exactly, but they got out of there. Um, and when they got back to Rohan, they warned their father or her father, the king, about the army and everything. And the prince is suggesting they go back to they evacuate everyone to Dunharrow Fortress. Um, and the what's the nephew's name's Frailoff, I think they call it. Anyhow, he gets into a little bit of a spat with the king, and then the king tells him to go to Dunharrow by himself, and he doesn't really need him to help in the battle to come because the king's doesn't want to call for help from Gondor or anything, which would have been the right move. He believes they can take him out. The king believes they can take out the hill tribes. Um, so the cousin leaves and they get ready for battle. Turns out they're going to attack during the night, which makes sense because the hill tribes do most of their fighting at night. So they go out there with all their army and stuff. And during the whole interaction with the cousin, this one guy pledged so many soldiers to the king. So they're feeling pretty confident about their numbers. And when they got out into the field for the battle, they were missing a group of people. And at the same time, Hera, the princess back in the fortress, found that, or not really fortress, but the town found that, found a letter with that sigil on it, and she realized that the noble was in league with the wolf. So first thing she does is evacuate the people, and while everyone else is fighting out there, and she stays behind and what does she do? She burns one of the gates down so the giant elephants wouldn't try to
Well,
run through it.
no, not first.
What
Do you remember
first?
what happens first? As she's evacuating the people, she goes to get her horse, and then in the stable, the guy that was betraying
Right, the noble.
them comes to
Yeah.
get her. Yeah.
Yeah, and she stabs him with a pitchfork. And she got
Not
lucky with
on.
that one.
Yeah. He kind of
She
fell onto it.
Yeah, he fell onto it. He was going to attack her and she kind of grabbed it last minute. Anyhow, after that, she burns the gate down so the elephant wouldn't run through it. Her brother, both of her brothers are on the outside fighting with their father. One of them climbs his way onto an elephant and he kills it, but it made it through the gate, or yeah, I think it was a gate and into the town, just barely missing the what would you call that? The council room or something,
Great
whatever
Hall.
they're Great Hall, yeah. Anyhow, right after his brother kills it and starts cheering and gets an arrow through the neck. Wolf was following him and got him. Uh, and then their father and brother come charging in, and his her father gets covered in arrows and stuff, and they help him escape. And one thing I should have mentioned is before they left, the younger brother, which I don't remember the name of, he's like a musician and stuff. I was kind of sad about that
He's
one,
like a
but
bard. Yeah.
yeah. Anyhow, but he's good with a bow. He has a slow horse. It's an old horse, and this kind of plays out in the next moment when they're trying to escape and catch up with the refugees. Uh, Wolf only took like four guys with him, but Hera and rode with her dad, and she's got a good horse, and she's like the best rider around. Um, Anyhow, they outrun him, but the horse on the younger brother gives out and gets captured, obviously. But they arrive at give me a second because it's not the current name. What did it used to be called? Hornburg. So Hornburg is the fortress and on the side of a mountain, like in a valley that they decide to go to. And winter's just approaching. There's a lot of stuff going on. Anyhow, they realize that the brother didn't come with them. And then Wolf rolls up with the brother and his general, and Wolf is just mad. He's crazy. Um, the general suggests to trade trade the brother for the
Well,
king because that's what he
well,
offered.
because yeah, the king offered to trade his life for his son.
Yes. And Wolf just starts yelling at him and slits the brother's throat, which was really sad. So within like a day, everyone's dead. She lost her two brothers. Um, Her dad's really beaten up, like he's severely wounded. And winter's coming, and they're in a fortress. And shortly after, Wolf gets all his guys army together, and they start a siege on what you call it. God, I just had it. The Hornburg. So it takes them all winter to like start like at the beginning they start setting up a siege weapon. Basically, it's just like a giant tower they use to get onto the the walls of the fortress. Um, and this fortress has never been breached before, and it still has not. Um,
Well, it was a little
Even
breached.
there's a little breach. There's a little breach in both movies, I think,
Yeah. What do you
because
mean both movies?
well, we'll get to that. Um, Anyhow, it's a long winter. Hera's father isn't like doing well. He's like he hasn't woken up. His wounds have healed, but he lost all his sons, and his arrogance cost him the lives of everyone. So they start panicking because they're running out of food and stuff. And then all of a sudden, her father disappears, and all this time, the wolf and his soldiers are out. They're camping out. And they are you know building siege weapons and stuff. Anyhow, there becomes a rumor that the king died and he became a wraith. And because people were getting picked off and dying, and you'd always hear a horn before it would happen. Um, Anyhow, later on, uh, Hera is looking around her father's room trying to figure out what would have happened, and there was apparently a trap wall, and she falls through it, and it like leads out. I think it's like kind of to the side or behind, um, farther out than the front gate. So they're kind of like behind the army. Um, and when she's out there, there's two. They're not trolls. They're what are those
Orcs.
dudes called? Orcs. And I think the other thing was a troll. Maybe not.
I don't know. It was like a minotaur. It
It
had
was
horns.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, it was. Anyhow, she like tries to run from him. Then the big dude shows up, and then all of a sudden, her father just jumps down. He's looking like a beast. He kills the two orcs, and absolutely messes up the Minotaur, we'll call it. And like he was going blow for blow with it. This monster could like, break rocks and shit. And he's just taking all the hits. I mean, Hera helped out. She stole the spear from the orc and threw it at the Minotaur in the face, and it gave her father a chance to fuck him up, and he took a rock and smashed his head in. Pretty violent, but pretty badass. Um and then she found out it was her father that was just going out at night, killing all the men, and she convinced him that it's not going to help or anything. Um, he was just, grieving, and they heard Wolf and his army, or at least some of his men, heard the noise like going on up top. So they decided to go up there to investigate, and they find the orcs and stuff, and then they kind of see Hera and the king making a break for the front gate because they can't go back in the way they came. So they have to make a run for the front gate. And just like around this time, a blizzard is hitting. So, like, and I mean, like, because we're in the dead of winter, and apparently the winters in this area are messed up. So they fight their way to the front gate. And the gate, of course, it's winter, the gate's frozen. But her father was able to crack it up enough, like, open enough for her to get in, and he decides to stay out, and he entrusts her with the people and everything, and then he from there decides to fuck up everyone. Like he beat up everyone. Like Wolf, I think, backed down just because of the weather. um and when they found him the next morning, he was frozen solid, still standing. It was pretty badass.
That's something
uh
I didn't understand. So I think they made an error there.
yeah,
In the one scene, he is standing with his hand in the air, and then
yeah.
it cuts to him holding his hammer frozen. he did not have his hammer then.
I think
So
he had it on his I questioned that too, but then I was thinking, I'm like, I thought I might have saw it on his hip at one point.
but he was, I don't think he was holding anything that first scene.
No, he
It
was
kind of,
not. I think it was a little bit of a flaw, but
yeah.
I think it would have been possible. It just doesn't make as much sense because he was going ham with his hands.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah,
Uh,
I'll give you that one. I agree because I thought it was weird too. And then after that, Hera's struggling to figure out what to do, and I guess I should have mentioned at the beginning she found a bridal gown and like a crown. Um, that'll come into play in a minute. Anyhow, she's trying to figure out what to do, and then she comes up with an idea after seeing one of the giant birds, which was kind of like a baby in the beginning of the movie. She like fed it, but it's like the giant eagles. I don't know what they're called.
yeah, the great
Um,
eagles of
yeah,
Gondor or something.
great eagles. Anyhow, notices the great one of the eagles that the same one she fed is nesting right above them. So she decides to scale the mountain, and she has the king's armor gathered. Anyhow, she talks to the eagles because supposedly the eagles can understand the common tongue. She asks for its help, and it seems to agree. So at nighttime, the eagle swoops in and takes away the king's armor, and the bird drops it off at
The nephews,
the nephew, which is at the
other keep.
other keep. I was gonna find the name of it again, but I apparently lost it. Starts with a D. Anyhow, um, why am I not finding it? I swear to God. Okay, whatever. Thought I found it a minute ago. That's gonna bug me. I just had it.
Anyways,
Yeah,
they decide, hey, we're going to just fuck these guys up tonight and attack. So they like raise the bridge and they drop the
yeah. The
bridge
siege
that they
weapon
made.
finally finished.
Yeah, so they drop
Eh,
it and they're sieging.
Yeah,
And
and while all this is going on, she's evacuating the people through the hitting door,
yeah,
and
just
she's sending
as
them
an
towards
escape.
the other
Well,
fortress.
she's sending them through the camp, the enemy camp, because she
Yeah,
knows that it's gonna be empty when they siege.
Dunharrow Fortress. Yeah, but the goal is to get them to the Dunharrow Fortress where everyone else is. But anyhow,
And
yeah, they drop the bridge and they start attacking, and she puts on the wedding gown because it's kind of like playing at the wolf because he wanted her to be her bride. Um, so she was kind of keeping his attention, I guess, is what she was trying to do, distract him while everyone else was escaping. Um, and they get into a big fight. And you can go ahead and explain this. I kind of took over there.
yeah, they get in a big fight. She like goes to the bridge and they're like, "Hey, if you can beat me, then you can have all the stuff in this fortress and what me or whatever." And then she's like, he's like, "I agree." And then she beats the fucking shit, like rocks him.
Yeah,
And then
she fucked
he's
him
like,
up.
he's like, "Send him in anyways." He tells the general, and then the general's like, "No, this is wrong," and he like stabs the general.
Yeah, so he
And
kills his general, which is
and then he goes back
interesting.
after her, and then her shield maiden throws her the shield. That was a big deal earlier.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't
And
mention that her handmaiden use was the last shield maiden currently. I don't know if we mentioned that.
then as before, right before they get into like the second battle, they see the king and all the people run away because like, oh my god, the king's armor, the wraith is back, and everyone's fucking running away. And but it's really just the nephew. And then Hera ends up like fucking him up again.
Yeah,
And then
she
he's
finally
like,
kills him with the shield.
yeah, and then he's like, I always knew you'd be my downfall. Ugh.
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that.
It ended by her
And
shoving the shield into the dude's throat.
then everyone was happy,
Yeah,
and
she spared the men that attacked too, because her cousin
yeah,
was going to muss them all up, but she decided to have him call the end of it. And
and then
Yeah.
more seasons passed, and spring came, and then they started rebuilding, and then her cousin got the throne because she didn't want it, and then she's like, "I am off to see a wizard," and the wizard's name is Gandalf, and then
Yeah.
what's his name also showed up, the something Saruman the White.
Yeah. He showed up at to talk to the new king. Yeah. So the reason she went to see Gandalf at the end is because
The
she
the
got a
orcs were
letter.
wanting rings.
The orcs were hunting rings, and Gandalf got wind of this, so he wanted her to come and explain what like she witnessed. And she went with her handmaiden too. I guess we didn't mention that.
Well, the handmaiden had decided to come on her own.
Yeah, but yeah, and the whole thing ends by her, or the narrator saying she lived the rest of her life free.
Yep.
And the thing they mentioned at the beginning is like, and I don't know if this is just the way to wrap it up into the current story because I don't know if this is a side thing they made, but they're like, this story was never told, or you'll never hear her name or something.
Yeah,
So
she's not in any books.
yeah,
There
which is probably their way of trying to weasel it into the main story, which is fine. I thought this was really good. So what we didn't mention is the king, King Helm, the badass, defended everything and froze in the blizzard at night. They renamed the fortress after him,
after
which is
him.
now known as Helm's Deep, which you would recognize from the later Lord of the Rings movies, because Helm's Deep's where they make their final like stand there, and because the fortress has never been sieged or broken into. I guess it's been sieged. Just a and
Been
I
sieged
swear to
several
God,
times, it just never lost.
yeah, they never lost, which a couple times people seem to get in through the top, but whatever.
Yeah, it seems to have
We'll call it
several
a win.
flaws, but they still use it.
It seems to work pretty well, though. I mean, they never lost.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was
Um,
impressive with theirs current one because they didn't really have any soldiers or anything during this movie.
yeah, what was I gonna say? Um, I don't know. They've always been finding a way in and out because oh no, that's somewhere else. Is Helm's Deep isn't where the Battle of Five Armies took place, is it?
That took place in front of the mountain, correct?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dwarven kingdom.
Yeah.
No, this was let me look it up. I forget the fight this one was in. All I remember is the dwarf and the elf having battle who can get the most kills.
Oh, it was that's
Um is it just called the Battle of Helm's Deep?
maybe.
A major battle in the War of the Ring that took place in Mountain Fortress. Who fought the Rohirrim under King Theoden and Ir- Erkenbrand against the forces of Wizard Saruman. Um, yeah, because they were just trying to delay it until Gandalf showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. What do you think of the movie?
I liked the movie. It was a good movie.
I legit thought it was a good movie. And this is where I'm wondering if it's coming into the reviews is that it's animated. And I don't know how many people like that. Personally, I loved it. Animation was a little wonky at sometimes. The voices didn't seem to line up. The first half of the movie was and then like towards the beginning, especially the fortress scenes and stuff, it popped off pretty hard. I loved it. It was visually appealing. It was just it's weird because it's Warner Brothers, and I'm assuming they got another animation studio involved. Um, and you mentioned it too, and I noticed it at the beginning. They brought like some realism mixed
Yeah, it was like
with
HD 2D.
animation. Yeah. Which it was cool. It was interesting. Cause like I wouldn't have told like in the very first scene, I wouldn't have known it was animated until the birds flew in. Because the birds were like super obvious and it kind of threw me off. Anyhow, you want to hear the ratings for it?
Sure.
IMD gave it a 6.7. So, not great. The Metacritic gave it a 54. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 51, which
Hmm.
is wild.
Yeah,
But
I thought it
Google
was way
users
better than
gave it
that.
a 79%, which I tend to go with Google reviews now. It seems to be more accurate because it's the people. I I would give it out of what would you give it out of 10? I think I would do
I give it
like
like a 7 out of 10.
I'd give it like a 7.5. It's not like 8's like pretty freaking good. So I'd give it 7 to 7.5. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Aside from the fuckers behind us. Oh my god, I was
They
losing
just
my
kept
shit.
talking.
It was 2 girls and they would not shut up. I was legitimately like getting mad. I was praying one of those people who were getting up towards the middle to go to the bathroom were gonna grab like a um
Like a person. Yeah, they
like
just
employee
talked
to
the
come get him
whole
out.
time.
They would not shut the luckily they quieted down like towards the end. But like during the middle when all the like random stuff was happening, they were like, "Oh my god. Oh,"
And then they were
and it's
like
like
so sad, then crying and shit.
yeah, and then they were like laughing and like making fun of stuff and I was like, "Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up." Oh, it was so annoying. This is why I hate going to movie theaters anymore. It feels like people just lost like the freaking respect to stay quiet. Not all of them. This was just a bad time. And last time we went to the theater, it was like 4 people, so we were spoiled with that one,
Yeah.
but, good movie. Uh, yeah, solid movie. I recommend watching it, especially if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you'd love it. And you don't need to know anything about Lord of the Rings to have to watch it, which is another good thing. It's definitely an open movie. Um, well, what else do we have? Magic? We could talk a little bit about Magic.
Yeah, we can talk about magic.
Fortunately, Mikey isn't able to join us. We started a little early. Matt said he had stuff to do, and Mikey's normally a little bit later because I think he was at work today. Um, we went over, played 2 games, I think.
Yeah, two games while we were up there.
Yeah. So, what did you play the first game? It wasn't your new
Omnath.
deck, Omnath.
I played
Mikey
Omnath because I hadn't played it in a while, and I
yeah,
just was just trying to play
Mikey
something.
Mikey played Locust God, and I played Kudo. I was doing pretty fucking good, if I do say so myself. I let Mikey live, and that lost me the game because I kind of felt bad because I was fucking him up pretty hard.
I
I was like,
really
oh
wasn't. The issue was I wasn't paying attention to the game really either because I was trying to get my other deck ready.
yeah, he was sleeving up his new deck and finishing writing stuff down, his substitutes. Um, but yeah, Mikey just he was not doing good. Normally, Locust God is a little rough for me to go against, but he couldn't get anything out. Um, you ended up winning that one though. Uh, yeah, because you had a couple of funky cards in there that kept us from doing stuff. I think
What did I in the second game?
first game you did, I thought. Anyhow, second game you played your new deck, correct?
Yeah, and I won.
Which was yeah, so you won both times.
No,
I
I
could
didn't
have
win
won
the
the first.
Mikey won the first game.
I thought you won the first game.
No, Mikey won one, and then I won one.
Oh shit! I thought you won the first game. I
No,
knew you.
Mikey ended
I
up
knew you
going.
won the second one.
Mikey went infinite.
Right. Yep. That's why I thought I could have won if I killed him. Yeah. Anywho, the second game I played Kalia, Mikey played Rakdos, and you played your new deck, which is the Shrine. I can't remember the name. Go something.
Oh, the shrine, yeah.
I forget the name of it. That's his commander, anyhow. Um,
Go
that
Shintai or something.
yeah, I popped off a little bit at the beginning. I could have went infinite, but I didn't because I misread fuck what Enlightened Tutor I think it is, right? I think that's the name of the
Um,
card.
maybe, yeah.
Whatever, it lets you pull an artifact or an enchantment from your deck. I thought it said just enchantment. I could have and I had a card earlier. I had Demonic Tutor. I could have pulled out Goldspan and I could have pulled out Lightning Greaves.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought he was gonna pull.
well, I would have, but since I didn't have the Enlightened Tutor right away first, I pulled out Avacyn, which held me throughout because obviously those who know Avacyn's kind of fucked. Um, gives everyone indestructible. She's indestructible herself. Um, which works for Kalia because Kalia always gets fucking targeted hard because she just lets me play high CMC stuff for free. Uh, yeah, I would have been doing a lot better if I pulled out Goldspan and did that. I'm sure I could have done something else. I could have probably pulled out. That's another thing I could have done. I could have pulled out the guy that drops you down to 1 health, and I could have won that way because I don't think no,
Yeah.
Mikey had blockers that time.
Yeah, Mike had blockers, and you had to pay to attack me.
I had to pay to attack you, and I only had enough mana to
Good.
do some stuff, like a little bit. So I would have been screwed either way. Goldspan would have been the way to go. But obviously I misread the card, so I kind of screwed myself on that one. I thought I had to find an enchantment. Anyhow, Mikey did pretty good that time. You ended up winning, but he was popping off. He cock blocked me hard because
Ye
he put out a thing that if any damage that he takes, I take. So anytime I'd hit him, I'd end up hurting myself. Or was that? Yeah, that was that
yeah,
time
that was
because
it. Mhm.
I used an angel that I can't lose the game. So if I lose the game, my life resets. So I went off of that once, and then Mikey started taking away my shit, and it went downhill for me real quick. You were just kind of I didn't really know what was going on over there with you.
I was just playing my own game. I was trying to learn the deck because it was my first
Yeah,
game with
because
the
you were
deck.
getting blocked too. You weren't able to play a lot of your stuff. I forget how you ended up winning though.
I ended up winning because I killed you and killed you. Ended up doing enough damage to Mikey with his Platinum Angel, and I killed his Platinum Angel to kill him.
Right, right. I had Mikey
And then
down to like
and then
two
you
health or
were
something.
already at like 1 health because of
Yeah,
that, because you take damage. So I was able to just take you out with one hit because I had another
yeah.
way to win with counters, but
But Mikey
I
blocked
was
that.
a Mikey blocked that with Platinum Angel because I would have won on my upkeep if he didn't play Platinum Angel.
Yeah. So it was well played. I got my one mistake cost me the whole fucking game, and it was an early mistake too. But yeah, so that was kind of our magic thing that happened this weekend.
It
We
was
didn't
fun.
get to play too much. We were because we went after we watched the movie, so it was already like 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it was late.
So, um, what else? You want to go over Gamer Awards? Because I didn't pay attention to them too much. I didn't
Okay,
watch it,
main things at Game Awards. Astrobot won Game of Year.
which is
Um,
interesting.
I mean, it's a good game.
It's a good game. I just don't know if I agree, but I don't know the
Um,
other options.
Blacksmith Wukong was one of the options, which not many people played. I mean, a lot of people played
A
it,
lot
but
of people played it.
it wasn't like for everybody. You know, like
Yeah, that's like
Astrobot
a
was like
target group.
yeah, like Astrobot was like made for anyone can play it. Um, then what was the other one? Oh, fuck. Sorry, I got killed by a May. Um, then Borderlands 4 got a trailer. A new Elden Ring was released. Um,
Not released,
but
but announced.
it was
Which
announced. But
I wanted to look at because for some reason I thought they mentioned
so
something about it being full co-op.
it is full co-op, but it's a roguelike. There's 3 in-game days. At the end of each day, you fight a boss. Um, and
Oh,
then like after you make it through 3 days, you win, and you like
yeah.
reset, I guess. But it's weird because the area shrinks like it's Limgrave, but like reworked, and the area shrinks like a battle royale.
Interesting. Hold up, I'm pulling it up because I didn't get to see anything on this.
Yeah, so it's a
I'm watching
pretty
the
weird one.
trailer. Okay, that sound needs to go down. So it's Limgrave.
Yeah, that's the area in Elden Ring.
So this is more of like a mini game, not
I hope they don't release it as a full price game.
because the way you explained it to me seems like it's like a side game.
It's yeah, it's a standalone title is how they said it.
So it's called Elden Ring Night Ring.
Yeah, Night Rain.
Is this just Fortnite?
It's Fortnite, but with Elden. It's a roguelike. It's not Fortnite. It's a two-player roguelike,
I
but
don't.
with
I guess I
Fortnite
don't know the
elements.
definition of roguelike.
Roguelike is you play through a certain set of levels, and then you either get to the end or you die. And when you die, you reset with certain like things for the next run. You just do run and run and run. Like you just
Okay.
keep doing runs of a game.
So they were trying to find a way to bring in more PvP.
There's no PvP.
No PvP?
There's no PvP or invasions. It is a two-person co-op adventure. No PvP or invasions. You play against it's PvE. The whole thing is PvE.
Whole thing's PvE. Me and you are playing this together, correct?
We can.
I'd love to. This looks like a lot of fun. First off, because I just like Elden Ring and I've been wanting to play with you, but we never did because I couldn't get you to play Elden Ring again.
I need to go back and finish it, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean,
This takes so much of my time to like remember everything about the
would you
game.
rather just restart and do a co-op with me? Like download it on the computer? Because we can
I
do
don't know.
mods. We can do a modded one where
Uh,
we can make it permanent co-op.
maybe.
Because I've seen a lot of people playing that and it seems to be a lot more fun instead of having to like summon someone in every time you get to a new spot and then they
Yeah.
disappear. So yeah, I don't know. Looks fun to me.
Yeah, but that's like the main stuff that was announced. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff, but that's like the stuff that caught my attention was those three things from the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure what else there should be to talk about there. Um, but yeah,
Huh.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy with Astrobot winning. I liked
What did they
Astrobot a
call the
lot.
best multiplayer? Helldivers got the best multiplayer?
Did it? I know
Yeah.
Warhammer 40,000
It
or
was on
maybe got
there.
something.
Space Marine 2 was on there, Tekken
Yeah,
8, Super Mario Party, Call of Duty 6. I don't see Call of Duty 6 winning. I
I
didn't see Helldivers winning. A lot of people played Mario, a decent group played Tekken, and quite a bit played Space Marines too.
yeah.
I I haven't played Space Marines 2, but I've heard a lot of people take it over Helldivers.
Black Myth won the Player's Choice Award.
Okay, which makes sense. I've been wanting to play Black Myth. I just
It looks hard. I'm just like,
yeah,
just not in the mood for like a really hard game like that right now.
yeah. Can let's see. What was the best content creator of the year? Queso. That's kind of funny. I like that. Have you watched his stuff?
No, I have no idea who that is.
I always see clips of him. I'm sure you've seen clips of him. He's like a bigger boy. Uh he's people always make like his chat is just so cruel to him, but always making fat jokes and stuff. He seems legitimately
Oh,
entertaining.
I know who he is. Yeah,
And then a VTuber was up there too, which is interesting. But yeah, he's been popping off. Best action adventure game, Astrobot won that one too.
it's a good
And I'm
game.
surprised the Silent Hill didn't win anything. Legend of Zelda, I guess I don't really see winning anything. But what was the other one? Metaphor?
Yeah, Metaphor got something I think, which I haven't played yet.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth between the what is the best ongoing? Helldivers, really? Dude, I am not understanding the Helldivers thing.
They just released another thing with
But I thought they kept
vehicles
ruining
and
it.
stuff.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Metaphor won best RPG, which makes
they
sense.
released a new enemy type and new vehicles. That's what Casey
Okay,
and what's his name were talking about in the one chat.
Carlos.
Yeah.
What's the best VR game? Batman? You know, that one has looked pretty cool, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, best action game was also Wuhan, Wukong, whatever it is. Wukong,
Yeah. Black
not
Myth
Wuhan.
Wukong.
Wu
What?
best best performance. Oh, this is like actors.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, like my highlight was that Borderlands trailer.
Yeah. Best audio design. I don't know what this game is. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2?
No idea.
I don't think I've even heard of that game. Interesting. Like I said, I don't play games too much anymore, but I need to. I play what I anything I play is normally on stream. The only things I play outside of stream are like Overwatch and Rocket League. Um, what else?
That's like
Anything else
it.
happened last week?
That's what I know of.
That's about all I got. Um, we're still continuing with our Final Fantasy thing. We
Borderlands finished.
Borderlands 2
Borderlands
is
2 was
finished.
finished.
Um, I got a face cam, so I might start using that here soon. Matt, you should do the same.
VTube.
Huh?
VTube maybe.
Yeah, you should do it for the podcast.
VTube.
No, face cam. And then I could post the video to Spotify instead of having to export it as a stupid MP3 and then posting the MP3. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. I started watching Soul Eater. I guess that's something new.
Oh,
Mikey
that's
was talking
cool.
about it, and I'm enjoying it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm gonna go do after this. Actually, I take that back. I gotta do some Japanese stuff. Either do flashcards or start my first lesson. Are we safe enough to announce that?
I don't know, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about all we got. That's everything you've got. I'm good to call
Yeah,
it.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.